market profile and order flow principles in relation to the current market situation. So right now, before getting into the session, just give me a quick confirmation about the audio and video quality. So hope the audio and video quality is good, and just give me a quick confirmation. Probably, I think so far markets opened inside the range and trading inside the range. So far, it is kind of a dull, boring session, I guess. And this kind of market, right? It has the odds of going sideways for the first half. So basically, the first half looks like it's having the odds of going sideways. All right, great. Thanks, Vincent. Thanks, Vincent, Yogesh Ram, and everyone for the quick confirmation about the audio and video quality. So I've been looking into the markets over here. So as we discussed, price opened inside the range and it is trading inside the range as well. So the early morning high is going to be a very, very important reference over here. So yesterday we had a single print session over here. So let me mark this level. I'll go to the text and then I'll put a marker saying that it's a single print zone. It's a single print resistance, by the way. So it's a very important resistance zone in case of today's setup. So I just put a marker over there saying that it is a single print resistance zone. And I've been, let's do one thing. Let's start with the simple preparation for the day. So we'll go with Ami Broker for daily preparation. So we'll start with monthly, obviously. Monthly, if you see, the price is still trending higher. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to save it in a separate sheet. This is yesterday's sheet. I'm going to save it in a separate sheet. Let's say I'll make it as 16th of October. So monthly, it is more of an uptrend. So I'm going to make it as uptrend as it is. And when coming to the weekly time frame, let's go down to the weekly. Let's look into the overall structure of the trend. Weekly is also still one time framing for the last 4 weeks. Continuously keeps on making consecutive higher lows. So weekly also nothing much changed, but there was a mild uptick in volatility was coming in. That is what it happened thus far, right? So I'm gonna mark weekly as weekly trend is also an uptrend. Yesterday 4-day balancing was there, and now that 4-day balancing has been broken and price is trading on the downside. There is a change in the market is coming in. So what is that change here? That sideways trend has been turned itself into a clear short-term downtrend. So that is a strong indication that you should stay away from the positional longs, if any, right? So at this point of time, it is not a good place to look for a positional longs. Rather, one should look for a shorting opportunity or a sideways market opportunity. That is the kind of markets one should look for. So I'm going to turn this into downtrend, short-term trend, downtrend, right? So there is a change in trend here. Price changed from balancing market to downtrend because of the yesterday's crash. Yesterday, Nifty spot almost crashed by 290 points. So there is a change in the trend is happening. And of course, I have a habit of not to trade against the downtrend. If in case somebody want to go long, they should look for a change. Let's see what is that level is, right? So short-term trend is clearly down. If the short-term trend has to change, first of all, a change has to happen. And that change is what it defines, the single print zone it defines over here. Any acceptance above these zones. For example, let's say if price moving above this level, maybe I'll do one thing. I'll take a simple example of this. So if in case you're seeing an sudden acceptance above this trend, above the single print zone. That is, let's say, price if in case if it is accepting above this level. If it starts accepting above this level, trading above this level, maybe this is considered as a change in trend. So we can consider this as a change in trend. In that case, yes, one can go for a
Connection lost.
Alright, so audio should be good now. How about the audio quality? Is it good? Audio should be good now. Is audio good? Alright, thanks Sharon, thanks Vaibhav, and thanks everyone for the confirmation. Great. So we are all set now here. Let me also do one thing for simplicity purpose. I'll right click, I'll go to the indicators. So I'll just change the TPO size to 40 as the settings so that the letters will be clearly visible to you people. So this, in this example here, so we've been talking about this single print rejection over here. So what happened in the morning is that a single print rejection happened over here. So that is an indication that the buyers are not so serious. So let me also put it over here. What we happened here is that a single print rejection, right? So that is what it happened over here in the morning. And that is itself a critical sign that the buyers are not so serious. And more activity is likely to develop in this range. So in this case, today's the odds of point of control forming around 11,735 to 11,720 is where we can expect a point of control. So probably we can expect today's point of control around these levels. This is the level we can expect a point of control here. And let's go and check out the order flow levels as well, because something interesting is happening at order flow. So what is so interesting about order flow is that initially buyers started driving the price up, right? So buyers started driving the price up. There was a kind of an weaker supports was there. So these are the kind of weaker support zone. So that weaker support zone got broken at this point of time, and it resulted in a little bit of liquidation over here. Right, so this kind of weaker support zone, usually it is not a good sign, and price breaking that, it's again not a good sign going forward. So which market had done, and so this is a kind of a delta zones over here. The delta zones are considered as kind of a weaker support zones. It's not a stronger one as such, but it is more of a weaker one. And volume wise, opening volumes has been pretty impressive, and followed by that the volumes has been, now it's continuously reducing now. So if volumes are continuously reducing, that means it has the odds of sideways markets. Markets can absolutely go in a sideways mode, and more price rotation can happen around the back and forth around these levels. Means price can go up and then come back down. So it can go up, again come back down, maybe even testing the day high. But even if it is going above the day high also, it will tend to rotate back again. It will tend to rotate back again. Or if the price goes down, it will try to do more and more centering around these levels. This is what we can expect going forward in the first half. So more and more price centering is what we can expect, more around these zones, right? So if at all a change is happening above the single print zone, then only one can look for any possible positional longs again. So maybe anything above 11,820 and price is able to sustain above 11,820. That could be a signature for the positional longs, but the odds of price turning into a positional long at this point of time is not an is not a possible at this point of time. It's pretty difficult at this point of time, because there was a change happened, and followed by that there is also a potential downside destination target. We can use this prominent point of control as a potential destination target as well. Let me check if I can get some epic pen here. No. So you can see this ABCD balancing is happening. It means price is trying to do more and more centering at this point of time here. So more and more centering can be anticipated. Volumes also getting bit of a sideways mode over here. In these kind of places, if you want to trade an intraday perspective, the best place is that when the price is going outside the value area. So we are at the, here is the value area over here. So if in case if the price is going outside the value area, you can look for a price to center back, or if the price goes down, you can look for an intraday long opportunity. So that is how one can position themselves in today's series. This is a view I had taken based upon the initial auction center. So initial auction center will be observing from letter A, B, C period. We'll be trying to understand what is happening, how the initial auction is happening, right? So we, in order to do that, we will be looking AB or ABC period for confirmation. So based on that, one can clearly say that price has the odds of centering around over here. And there are days more and more bell curve shape can get formed around this center point. So one another thing that we can learn from the order flow is that, so there is a pretty good exhaustion happen at the lows, these lows, right? So its selling was pretty much bigger. You can see that big delta selling happened over here. However, when this selling happened, right, when the selling happened, it also turns out to be like an outside bar. It also, if you could see this particular setup over here, the delta was pretty much decent. It's not a big delta, but it's 497. But the sellers haven't shown any strength in this particular setup over here, right? So clearly there is no clear strength is there at this point of time, and so that's a quick scalping opportunity towards the VWAP levels, right? So towards this VWAP levels, one can look for some quick scalping odds. And moreover, in this structure, if you could see, a little bit of stop hunting also happened. A lot of zeros came in between, so that is a signature of an stops, right? So that is signature of a kind of a stop. So usually these kind of stops, right, it gets filled back by the price. So these are results of kind of a stop hunting, kind of a mini league stop hunting is happening. We can say like kind of a mini stop hunting. So overall, what can happen is that price can have the centering odds over here. So let me also pull up the Excel. Let me also put it over here. I will also sharing these information, the sheet, complete sheet in the Telegram group as well. So it will go over here. So let me fill it right from the start. It's went downtrend. It's not a good place to look for positional longs. For any positional longs, we have to look for an acceptance above 11,820 levels. Trading sentiment is negative. Trading sentiment holds negative. What level to monitor? At this point of time, we have to monitor the single print zone. Single print zone. Right, so the single print zone, if you notice here, the single print zone is like, it's there in between 11,760 to 11,810. That's an approximate figure. 11,760 to 11,810 levels. So if at all price is moving away above these levels, one can look for an positional longs. Until then, positional longs are not an advisable thing. Trading sentiment turned negative. So for example, I used to measure trading sentiment using that one of the simple indicator called turbo RSI. I don't watch during live markets, but I mostly a kind of an early morning preparation, I'll be looking into it. So yesterday it turned negative, and otherwise it's been holding positive. The yellow color and the green color one indicates a positivity, right? So that trend yesterday it turned negative, so which is not a good indication at this point of time. And yeah, short-term trend is clearly on the downside, so nothing much to fight yet on the long side yet here. That is a core principle on how to follow here. And the key reference level, what are the reference level we have to watch out? Yesterday there was an AB poor low. If you remember, in the last week we talked about the possible testing of an AB poor low and weak low, which got cleared. There was an AB poor low happened. That AB poor low also got cleared within T+4. So right now, what is the next level to target is the 11,600 level. There was a prominent point of control is there, which we've been carry forwarding from 6th of October. So these are the positional targets on the downside, comes around 11,600, and also towards the there is one more prominent point of control levels around these levels, like so 11,000. This is precisely, if you want me to look into that, this level comes around so very close to 11,600 levels. And other level on the downside, one more prominent point of control levels around 11,420 levels, right? So positional levels, these are not intraday levels. So positional levels are like 11,600 on the downside, and also 11,420 on the downside. So these are the two immediate positional downside targets, right? So maybe first half, my expectation is that first half is mostly balancing. That means price can go sideways. Second half could be targeting previous day low, that is 11,665 kind of levels, previous day low. But odds are a bit higher. Earlier inventory went extremely long to too long. There was a stealth auction there, and then day before yesterday there was a POC non-migration is there. So all those things has been pointing to inventory getting long to too long. So kind of a dangerous situation over there. And what happened yesterday is that kind of an inventory correction happened in the markets. So this signifies an inventory correction. So here yesterday, what happened here is that inventory correction happened over here. So very good inventory correction happened. Along with that, what is witnessed is that a very good selling is also witnessed. A fresh selling has been witnessed over there. A very, very important nuances. A fresh selling also happened, and now markets are likely to center more and more around these levels. So if you are an intraday trader, from the intraday perspective, really one have to look for a shorting opportunity. Even if you are a positional short seller also, one can use this single print zone to initiate any positional shorts. And yeah, as I said, any acceptance above 11,820 levels positionally, when I say acceptance, right, I'm expecting if point of control started building above 11,820 levels, probably that could be considered as a potential change. Else it is we are still in the part of the potential downtrend. And so as I said, this immediately from an intraday perspective, these are the two levels to focus on. From an intraday perspective, the previous day low, that is one level to target on the downside, and also the prominent point of control. These are the two immediate things one have to focus on the downside, if any, from today's perspective. Am I expecting immediately? Of course not. I'm not expecting immediately, but I'm expecting more of a sideways to happen first, followed by that, and maybe after 130 or 230, there could be a slow and steady downtrend towards the previous day low, and maybe in a best case towards the previous day's point of control as well. So we've been also doing a small we can say like kind of an mentoring program here on market profile and order flow. So you can go and check out tradezilla.co. So if you are interested, tomorrow the session starts. It is 85 hours of mentoring session on a market profile and order flow. Right, so if you are interested, you can go and check out the brochure, and there you will be getting the complete details about the program. Now coming back to the topic here. So overall, we've seen so far the markets are balancing and centering around the uptrend, which was going on like almost for 10, 11, 12 days. This uptrend lasted without breaking the one time framing. It got broken on 14th of October, followed by that it resulted in an POC non-migration. So there are two places where the market show the indication of long to too long. So this is one place where the market said that it is not a top, but we are very close to the top. And that particular day we had an kind of an poor structures and stealth auctions and maybe poor lows. And here also another pattern over here, that POC non-migration, that particular day point of control not migrated. It is also a prominent point of control day, and price migrated. So the a lot of emotions persisted on 9th of October and as well as on 14th of October over here, and that involves a potential liquidation, right? So that mostly an indication that we are very close to the top in the markets, and quick trend reversal is a possible thing over here. Let's have one final view with order flow. Order flow, nothing much interesting is going on here at this point of time. So mostly it is also indicating a potential sideways price action around this VWAP levels. Right now price is more and more fluctuating around this. You can see that there's a lot of whipsaws around this VWAP levels, and more whipsaws around 11,735 is again a possibility. There is no real strength in the markets, and there is no real weakness is also there in the markets. And let's also fill the sheet over here. What happened so far? I'll go and fill the sheet over here. So the reference for the day is like the single print zone, which is roughly around 11,750 to 11,820 levels. It's a pretty bigger one, by the way. The market confidence is low buyer confidence. It is low buyer confidence because the buyers are not so serious around those single print zone. Though price is trading around those levels, there is no clear acceptance coming at this point of time. So we got a single print rejection at the SP zone. So kind of an the risk assessment is that it's that not so serious buyers. So then we started with letter B period. So letter B period auctioned on the downside. So letter B period went down clearly. So this is an indication of an initial auction down. So what happened at B period is that B period broken the letter A period low. So the initial auction went down, and quickly the C period broken the initial auction. So C period again went up. So C period again went up. So these kind of markets indicates possibly a dull, boring, sideways markets in the first half. These kind of price action, right? So usually one can see more and more price rotations around POC odds around, right? That means price can go sideways around 11,735 to 11,750 levels, right? So that is a rough range. We can say like more and more sideways action can happen around these levels. And it is also been doing an ABC balancing as well. So ABC balancing and price is breaking early. So all these are having a dull, boring price action odds. Maybe second half could be exciting. So second half could be trendy, but first half usually has the odds of balancing. And so let me leave with the final note over here that volumes also drying up. Volumes are drying up, and volumes are not that great at this point of time. And there is also ABCD balancing is there. That means more sideways odds, more sideways odds. So what I'll do, I'll take a screenshot of this and then I'll share it in the Telegram group. Maybe rest of the day I'll be posting it in the Telegram channel for your lookup. So I'll bring my Telegram channel group over here. So you can get the Telegram channel at the rate of market calls _in. So you can just search of market calls at the rate of market calls _in. Just search it, you'll be able to get that link. So let me post it over here, and let me also take the snapshot of market profile references, what is happened so far. So these are nothing but the market readings and our observation. If any visual observation, if I'm able to see there, I'll be posting it over there. All right. So the visual observation also saying that totally there are chances are there that first half could be totally can get into a sideways odds, which we can easily confirm probably around by 10:30 itself. We are able to confirm that this market has the odds of going sideways in the first half. So let me say thank you. And so this market, right, it doesn't has much of a strength in the first half. Maybe second half, if there are any sellers who are coming and pushing the price down, more the price is going to stay down. That is, more the price is going to stay down below the single print zone, more the odds of selling can happen, right? In that case, more the price, if it's going to stay down, the chances of price testing the day low again and the prominent point of control again, that is 1600, could be a reasonable target to look on the downside, and most likely on the second half. First half looks like more and more of a sideways and a balanced markets. That's what I've been thinking at this point of time. So let me stop the session here, and let me take a couple of questions. So Prometheus is asking what chart is that. So this chart is market profile. The other chart is the order flow. So order flow tracks the buyers and sellers behavior, right? And market profile tracks how the auction is happening, and you can get to know about what kind of players are trying to control these markets. So what I'm seeing here is that since the day has the odds of going in like a dull, boring price action, there are pretty much possibilities are there that maybe this market is totally controlled by traders. Only traders are the one who is coming and controlling these markets, and they are the one who is trying to play around the center. More and more centering action can happen, right? So basically we are not going to go anywhere in the first half, right? So kind of the center point here, like the center point is most likely to act like a kind of a magnet over here. So Madan Prasad is asking, is there any anomalies left on the downside? No, there was anomaly sometime back on 9th October, which got cleared. There are not much of an anomalies on the downside, but there is also some immediate supports are there, right? So one have to be a bit careful around these supports. So there is a small support zone over here. It's around near to this 1600 levels. That's a very important single print zone as well. So let me extend it to. Right, so basically some immediate support zone is also there. So if any bounce back can happen, maybe price breaking this prominent point of control, touching the prominent point of control and bouncing back, that can be considered as one of the important support zones going forward. So this breaking this zone is very, very important to ensure that the strength of the trend is stronger. All right. So we will get a clarity around the second half. Second half is the price is breaking down, or today it cannot break down because acceptance, there is a single print on the upside and there is also a single print on the downside, right? So even if the second half of is going to come down, I'm going to continue this for coming Monday as well, Monday session as well. I'm going to continue this, and this is also going to continue. So Monday we will get more clarity about the trend. Today we have to come up with an controlled targets. So if anything on the downside, it's most likely the previous day low, and the prominent point of control could be the downside target. At this point of time, it's very difficult to say whether can we extend this to today itself. Can we see 11,420? Odds are very, very less. So in this environment, one have to learn to think in a very controlled behavior. Can we use market profile for investing as well? That's a question from Kaptar. Of course, yes, we can use market profile for investing as well. But market profile is a tool mostly suitable for short-term traders and very, very short-term traders, right? But yes, it can one can use market profile to trade any time frame. It can be investing, it can be trading, it can be scalping. But more apt for the traders, because the traders is the one who can extract the maximum information for that particular day, right? So investors looking into the profile on a daily basis, it doesn't make much of a sense here. Maybe positional traders, swing traders, they can make use of market profile, but investors hardly. They can look into the daily profile. I mean, they can look into the weekly profile or monthly profile, but however, it's of no use for them for looking into a daily basis. Like, so others is asking, do you use rule-based strategies on MP on how to trade on psychological trades? Of course. So what I will be doing here is that I'll be mostly looking for a kind of a framework. So what we built on top of market profile is a kind of a framework is what we built over here. Of course, it is purely rule-based. It instructs how you should behave in a given market environment. It instructs the trader like a framework. It guides the trader like a GPS, and it tells what to do and how to practice these markets in a given environment, like in today's market, right? So if you are a calm trader, you can wait for the opportunity to happen. As I said, opportunities at times will be outside the value area, either above or below the value area, and it's going to be a dull, boring price action markets, and first half can go totally sideways. So those kind of prediction you can make on top of that. The secondary thing is that not only prediction, and even if something is going wrong against you, how you should behave. That kind of structured rules are there. If markets are going in your favor, how you should behave. If markets are going against you, how you should behave within that given environment. All those things are part of the framework. Yeah, it is rule based. I would say that it is more of a systematic thinking than a systematic trading. Market profile will let you to organize the data, and it guides you to think in a systematic manner. So which application provides market profile and Orderflow tool? Of course, I'm using Bell TPO. So you can go to belltpo.com and you can look around, or you can also go to our platform Traders Cart and you can search out over there. So why doesn't high on October 12 qualify as poor high? October 12 high, it is not a poor high because there are a bunch of ticks around there. You can see that more ticks are there, almost 5 or 6 ticks at the day high. So basically it is not a poor high, it's a very good high. It's a good high, it's a good excess as well. So Murali is having, if we see a big volume, can we identify it as a big buy or sell? See, of course, these kind of big buying or big selling in the order flow, it will keep on happening at random places, right? So that doesn't mean like the buying has to continue or selling has to continue. There are no such things that buying has to continue or selling has to continue. But as far as concerned, yesterday, yes, there was a pretty good selling volume was there. Yesterday's volume, right? Look into the volumes here. a lot of very good volumes happened over here. So big volumes happened over here. A lot of initiative selling happened. A lot of initiative and forced selling happened with bigger volumes at various places, like 668 lots over here, 853 lots over here. And again, so 621 lots over here, 713 lots over here. When these kind of continuous pressure is happening, and again some 1000 plus lots, 1400 some lots over here. Right. So when these kind of forced big selling is happening, then there is a real big sellers are present in the markets. They're coming and dominating the markets. Right. So this 1090 lots over here, and again, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is, if it is coming in a flow throughout the day, then markets also one time framing. Those are good indications that big sellers are there in the markets. Otherwise, big selling activity randomly can happen at very few locations. Here and there it can happen. On a dull, boring days also, sometimes big buying or big selling can happen. But if it is continuously keep on happening on an every 5-minute candle or every 3-minute candle, if you are going to see that, so those are indications that big sellers are dominating. Right? So by looking into, do I look into only one volume alone or this 1090 alone and say like this is a big selling market? Of course not. So we will be looking into the sequence of the informations and then we'll decide whether it's a big selling or not. So of course, the big selling is started not only from yesterday, even day before yesterday also I was witnessing lot many big sellers, even when the price went crazily over here, right? So lot many big sellers, they onboarded at these levels. So there are various big sellers, if you could see. So they already started parking their money around these levels. So these are the levels. Mostly the big sellers, they entered, and what are the other places they entered? So if you could see, there are again big selling activities happening in this zone again here. So a lot of big selling initiation happened, the big delta. So you can look at the big delta over here. The big delta zones, again it got initiated over here. And again here, again a lot of impressive downside, a lot of more and more unwinding happened. All these things are unwinding. So more and more unwinding happened over here. So two places we can see big selling initiation happen over here. These are the two places big sellers, they had done their initiation. So we're going forward, these are very, very important zones. If you see this zones, prices coming back again and prices getting rejected. So these are the zones, most likely the sellers, they defended, the sellers entered around these zones, and most likely they could defend these zones also, right? As I said, here also a couple of big selling happened around these levels. So a lot of big selling also happened around these levels as well. So right from here to here, selling happened. Very tough to say whether it's a new selling or not, but overall, yesterday's structure, if you look into that, it is two things happened over here. It is a strong money selling as well as old money exiting over here. New money selling, and new money was coming and selling shorts, and old money is coming and liquidating their old longs positions. So both the things happened over here. All right, so to summarize, there is one more question from Adas Jain. His question is, do you use day structure concepts? If it is, how do you decide IB size to analyze day structures? See, I look at the IB, but I don't use IB to decide the structures, right? So I primarily, I don't decide what kind of day it is, right? I don't predict whether it is whether it is going to be an double distribution or triple distribution. That is more of a beginner level thoughts. I do aware about the IB size, but I don't take the IB size into my rules, right? So which I don't do that. Rather, what I try to focus is that I try to focus more on what is happening right now, or what can happen in the first half, or what can happen in the second half, and what is the overall structure, right? So overall view about the market, the big view, we will be mostly taking from the top-down analysis. And so what it says from the top-down analysis, what it is saying is that don't go for an positional longs here, maybe buying on dips may not work this time. Rather, immediately what you can expect here is that there is an overhead resistance is there around this level. We are prices right now traveling in this resistance band, so be careful about this. This is not a good indication. Usually it indicates rejection. More and more price is going to reject, higher the odds that we are still going to go a little bit downside. At least from the intraday perspective, we should target reasonably towards the day low, and maybe in worst case towards this prominent point of control as the next level of support band. So maybe anything on the downside. So these are the two levels to watch out. Or if the markets are going up, so look for a short on the rise. That's what I had done. I shorted on the rise. Right, so maybe this kind of structures is what we can anticipate. So basically, one should avoid trading outside the value area, trying to go and continue the price action on the outside the value area. One should avoid in today's case because it's having more and more centering odds in the first half. Second half, maybe yes, it could go and touch the previous day low. That's one of the important key reference level. After this big break, maybe after price is taking a lot of sideways action, going towards the day low could be a legitimate trade setup on the downside, and also towards the prominent point of control in best case. But still, with given volatility, it is possible. All right, so let me stop the session here, and maybe we'll meet again in yet another live session on market profile and order flow session on Nifty. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Connection.